Hello guys, welcome to a new video on Tower of God New World, and in this video we're finally going to talk about how to counter units in Adventure. This has to be one of the most requested videos ever. Every day people are asking how to counter Urek, 10 Cats, Garam, Anniversary Iwa, and so on. Yet I never had a tab about this topic on my spreadsheet, until today. In this video we're not going to talk in detail about how to counter every single unit, it would be too long and complicated to make, but I might decide to make a video or a short on how to counter individual units in the future. So let me know in the comments if you would be interested in that. Now, before going over the tab you see here on the screen and explaining how it is structured, I wanted to thank Wellplayedggwp for the help he provided with the majority of the recommendations. For those of you who don't know him, he is one of the most knowledgeable players in this game. He's currently pushing 450 plus deficits, a floor 135 and above, running some unconventional but effective combinations to beat most of the content this game has to offer. So guys, I invite you to check out his YouTube channel. I will leave the link to it in the description box down below. Unfortunately, it is in Indonesian only, but you can always activate the automatic caption to have it translated in your own language. That being said, I think we can get started looking at the tab. So as you can see, the tab is pretty simple. There is not really going to be a lot to talk about. But in the first column, we have obviously the unit we're trying to counter. I didn't add every single unit we have in the game. I only added those that I think are annoying. If you think I missed any, let me know. I will publish shortly a new section in my Discord server. And actually, let me share it with you now. We can see it here. I already had a counters tab or a counter section before, but it was getting a bit messy, not really that organized. So I'm planning on releasing a new one. I will be the only one to create the actual section. I will first create one for every single unit we already have in the tab. And then if you have any additional request, you can post it here. There is here the pin post request a post here. You just write, I don't know, I find Romay annoying. I didn't have Romay actually, I think. So yeah, you could write something like, I find this unit annoying because of this reason, and then I will read it. Also, people can upvote it by reacting to it, whatever. And if I think it makes sense, I will definitely include that in the spreadsheet and make a section for that. So yeah, this is just to share that this new section will also be released. Then everyone can go inside the post and say, I don't know, some additional strats that they found, and like other than what is already present in the spreadsheet, obviously. And then you can just share a screenshot of the clear, explain why that given combination of units or unit is actually countering or helping in countering that given unit, and we can definitely then include it in the spreadsheet as well. So that's kind of the idea. And let's go back to the actual tab. So again, first column, just the unit. Second column, we have the explanation. In this one, I just quickly mentioned why the unit is annoying and what you can try to do to make them easier to kill or easier to counter. So like in Evan's case, there's just a brief description of Evan provides immortality to the team and can easily chain it. He removes debuffs too, which can be annoying if you're going for HP energy recovery block. You should try to decrease his energy and keep him under CC. Now I might make it a bit easier to read, so maybe I can create some sections in bold like what makes this unit annoying, then a description, and then what you can do to make this fight easier, and then some additional information. But these are the two kind of information you will find basically in this explanation column. You will also find the floor at which the unit is going to start appearing. And for day one units like Evan and also some others, I just put floor 0 plus because I have no idea when they actually start to appear, but it doesn't really matter. Like you will meet them extremely early. So yeah. Then we have the counters and combinations columns. These are kind of split in two. So in the leftmost part, we have the individual units that can provide some additional value in countering that given target here, like Evan. And then we have this section for the combinations. So maybe individually they wouldn't counter them or they would struggle to do so. So there is also like a sort of section for duos, trios, or maybe even 4 unit teams that can provide a good counter to a given unit. So this is more or less how it's being structured. You will find the image and then below what they actually do to counter that unit. Pretty simple, nothing fancy. And I will say the deficit we're taking into account here is around 325 to 375. Obviously, they will work below 325, but if a unit only works at 250 deficit to counter, they're not going to be taken into account. So they have to be able to counter the given unit at around 325 to 375. If it's below that, we don't care, we're not going to add them. And if it's above, maybe some of these strategies will not work anymore. So it's kind of hard to tell. And that deficit is really, really hard to reach unless you're knowledgeable about the game, you have a really good account, and then you can already actually counter the units on your own. You don't really need my help in any way. So this guide is more suited towards people that are just in the 300 range, are chilling on the game, are not really tryharding too much, or maybe they don't have a very good account, so they cannot really afford to do more than that. And yeah, this is kind of the idea behind this tab. Also, I wanted to say that counters do not guarantee you the win, as I wrote here in the header, because at the end of the day, it's difficult, other for some specific scenarios like maybe Ray countering Edin, Urek, and some other units quite hard and basically guaranteeing you the win. But in most scenarios, this is not going to be a win guarantee. It's just going to make the fight easier and allow you to, at the end, bring home the win. But it will still take some tries on some of these units. They won't work all the time. Kind of depends also on what the other units in that team are. So if there isn't hats on his own, like the tank hats here, maybe most of these units will work. But let's say you start adding an anniversary hero in the enemy team, then that's definitely going to add an additional layer of complexity, and it's basically impossible to manage all of those combinations in a file. So for that, you will still have to think a bit creatively and figure out your own way. So yeah, I would say that's more or less the idea, guys, for this tab. I don't want to go in detail about any of the examples. You will just see the different information. If anything doesn't make sense, again, you can write in this new section I'm creating on Discord. So just wait for it. It's still not visible. I will just quickly create all the different posts. And then if you disagree with something, you either let me know in the comments down below on this video, or just go in the according post and say, I don't think this unit, like let's say for, I know, Vargarv, I don't think Urek really helps getting rid of Vargarv, so I don't think it can really be considered a counter. And then people can discuss this topic, and also myself, I will go in and just try to provide the explanation as to why Urek is really helpful in this fight, etc., etc. So these are just examples. Now, you also might have noticed there are some cases where I actually added the ignition weapon instead of a unit. Because, like, for example, with White, I found him quite annoying to deal with because I was normally using like an Irang team against him, but I usually have my Albelda linked to Irang. And as you know, Revolution 4 Albelda provides the active skill already, which blocks 5 skill attacks. But the thing is, White has a multi-hit target thanks to the passive, so he always one-shotted my Irang, which was extremely annoying. Then as soon as Bari came out, I just gave Bari to the bomb in the front lane, Bari to Irang, White would dash through them, proc both Baris, and then die because Irang would then just destroy him. So Bari is fucking amazing in a lot of scenarios, so you will find some mentioning of Bari as a counter. But normally it's just units. You might also find some instances like this one where there is no actual image, but there is more of a text because there are multiple units that do the exact same thing. So in some scenarios, they were compressed into one single box. In other times, like I think with Chronos Yuri, I just listed them all instead of making only one here. So yeah, kind of depends. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the layout, if you have any suggestions on how to improve it, anything really. And I hope this new tab will definitely be helpful for some of you guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.